Thank you, Carrie. So, what do we need from you as we continue to move forward? We need you to be proactive, and already by being here tonight, you're being proactive. And I know many of you have gone online over the past year and have researched this and followed it along. We need you to be informed, and that's the purpose of the website when we're not here making presentations. And if you have an opportunity, if there's a presentation in your area that you know about and you can find about that on the website, please attend and join with us. We need you to learn more and stay engaged. Stay interested in this, because this is a contribution to our future and the future of the region. We need you to engage your fellow council people and your neighboring communities council people to make sure that you raise the awareness as your individual networks. We need you to engage your citizens. Again, one of the reasons for the emphasis on this was because of the results of the Voices and Choices, a year-and-a-half collaboration to analyze from the community, all walks of life. And the #1 issue, over 20,000 people involved, was government collaboration and efficiency. And this is a huge step forward for us, setting the groundwork. And it'll change over time. It'll be enhanced over time. Join us individually, collectively, and join us in becoming part of the solution. Now let's answer your questions as best we can right now. Anything we can answer for you?
Any questions? We have a roaming microphone.
Okay.
Questions? Right up here. State your name and our city.
Pete Mattia. Is it on? Can you hear me?
Well, this is the microphone for the tape. Don't repeat your question.
Okay. Pete Mattia, Fairview Park. Well, what happens when a neighboring city or suburb doesn't want to get along with the vast majority of people? Are they just out of the picture?
Well, the question is, what if there is a neighboring suburb that doesn't want to participate in the collaboration? You know, one of the issues that we have here is how we're going to implement this. Now, let me just tell you what they did in Minneapolis-St. Paul. It doesn't mean what we're going to do. As a matter of fact, much of what we're doing is different from what they did in Minneapolis-St. Paul, but it is sort of the framework. They had state legislation that was passed that all communities participated in it in 1971. It was held up for a period of 2 years because 2 communities took it all the way up to the Minnesota Supreme Court. But the plan prevailed. It wasn't but a year-and-a-half after that that those communities were thanking the Supreme Court for having the plan prevail, because they ended up, while they were initially contributors, there were some situations that happened in their communities, they then became recipients. And so it was like an insurance policy. Now, how we do it is yet to be seen, because we don't know exactly what the will of our legislators are, and we may not need to do that. But it is a possibility as far as legislating it. What we'd like to do is an opt-in, and we'll be able to sense that. We actually, the most supportive communities that we've seen are those communities who are now having growth beyond what their current tax capacity is, because they have seen what's happened to the inner ring suburbs, and they know that what's happening to the inner ring suburbs is coming out to the outer ring suburbs, and they know that they need to participate in order to reduce the costs so that the region can be more vibrant. And the data, when we show you the data, every community grows better and smarter and greater by participating. Anybody that wouldn't participate, if that's the way it is, will be a huge loser over time.
Another question right here. Deborah.
Hi, Deborah Starnowski from Garfield Heights. Could you better explain what tax capacity is?
Sure. Tax capacity is the full capacity of a community. Let me just talk about Hudson, because that's the one I know the best. Our tax capacity would be on every element of what we would have as both property and income tax of a tax capacity and in the population. But the pooling, that's just for the distribution. The pooling is just on commercial industrial, and so it's isolated to either a property tax and or an income tax. But there was a reason why we do that, because there's some communities that are fairly small and really don't have much industrial commercial, but they have very large tax capacity because of the particular demographics of their community, and it really wouldn't be appropriate because they don't have industrial commercial, which was a choice of theirs, to be a recipient, and they're really not in need of that. So it protects from that type of situation.
You were explaining about the 20% pool and 40% pool. Did you explain that more?
Well, the 20% pool and the 40% pool, now, if you don't mind, Carrie, I'll take this one too. This is only based on new growth, okay? So it's not your total industrial commercial. So let's, as an example, in year one, everybody's at 0, and everybody does grow. But it's just the growth off of the 0 base year. And it would be 40% that would be exposed to the pooling. And in essence, and of course we adjusted for inflation, everybody contributes and everybody receives. Okay, I know that sounds, how could that be? Everybody contributes, but some receive more than what they've contributed, so they're net recipients, and some in that particular year would contribute more than what they would receive, so they'd be net donors that particular year. But it could flip-flop the following year depending on what happens. And what that does, it's not going to, initially it's not going to carry a budget for a community, but it adds to the sense of collaboration, and as we reduce and enhance our collaboration, we reduce our costs and enhance our services. And over time, if we looked today at Minneapolis-St. Paul as an example, they've grown by 110% in their population. We've grown by 30%. That's about 1% per year. They now have a pool of over $600 million that they distribute in a formula. And I talked to the largest contributor, Bloomington, where any of you ladies been up to the Mall of America? Or any of you guys been up to the Mall of America? I have. They have been a perpetual contributor. And you know what? When I asked the mayor, I said, you know what, are you really happy with that? He goes, my God, yes. Because when something happens here, I have 186 communities cheering me on. Can we send some police officers there to help you with that traffic situation? Do you need any trucks to help you with the movement of this? Do you need any barrels, more barrels? We're happy to help you because they're going to share in it. And if things were to flip, I can sleep at night because I know that if I need to become a recipient, I can. So everybody grows together, they're cheering together, they're working together, and it makes a huge difference. It really does.